Hey everyone! Many of you have been asking about whether Terraform would work with infrastructure from code in Nitric, so I'm really excited to share this update. In a nutshell, Nitric analyzes application code to create a specification which describes the resources that the application is using, their relationship to each other, and how the application intends to use the resource. For example, reading from a bucket. You can check out my latest blog for specifics on how this resource specification is generated. The resource specification acts as requirements, which is then fulfilled using IaC tools like Terraform. Nitric creates a Terraform project using reusable modules that are version controlled and extensible. You can apply your usual workflow, which includes pre or post actions like static analysis and security checks. Let's jump into a quick demo. To demonstrate the Terraform provider, I'm in an application that leverages a few cloud resources. To keep my project organized, I've created a resources file where I've imported and initialized an API, a bucket that allows read-write access, and a topic for publishing and subscribing to events. In my services file, I've implemented an API route that allows users to retrieve and upload URL. We have a bucket which is triggered on write events, which basically publishes an event to the notification topic. And finally, we have a subscription, which for now is just stubbed with a console log statement. Let's quickly test our application offline using Nitric's offline emulation features. I'll run the Nitric start command, which will launch the Nitric local dashboard. From here I can trigger an API, and you'll see that I've got my pre-signed URL. I can also switch over to the Buckets tab, where I can upload files to test out the bucket on events. When I switch back to the console, I see my console println statement, which I was expecting. Now that our application is running as expected, we're ready to deploy it to the cloud. Terraform providers are currently in preview, so we'll need to enable them in our Nitric YAML file. Next, we'll need to create a stack file, which is where we configure our target cloud and the IaC provider that we're going to use, in this case Terraform. We'll also need to edit this file to target a specific region. Now we're ready to run the Nitric up command to begin the process of creating our Terraform project. In the background, Nitric is creating a resource specification by analyzing your code. It then iterates over this specification and uses TF-CDK to build a Terraform project, which is composed of predefined Terraform modules. The Terraform project is created in a folder named cdktf.alf. It's quite verbose, so I'll just point out a few key areas of interest. In the assets folder, we have Terraform modules defined which fulfill the request for each of the resources used by your application. Let's take a look at the storage bucket module. This provider is for AWS and therefore has AWS-specific Terraform configuration to set up your bucket resource as an AWS S3 resource. All of these resources are included as part of the open source framework and are fully extensible, allowing you to customize them and add your own policies or modify the configuration. The bulk of the configuration exists within the cdktf file, which ties everything together and matches the current infrastructure requirements of your application. You can go ahead and generate your own Terraform project and inspect this more thoroughly. But basically that's it. You now have a Terraform project which fulfills the infrastructure requirements of your application and is ready to apply.